the ancient Sumerians have, now their writings come from 6,000 years ago. This is before the flood. They have a table of kings which goes back 300,000 years.
And that was all 30.
So you're saying, so basically what you're saying is, even in Genesis when it says, and day and night was the fourth day or the fifth day,
so that could be 7,000, that could be thousands of years, spans of thousands
you go to
of
2
years.
Peter and read that. Okay, so
Yes.
I mean that's interesting, and that's a big that's really a big thing that they should bring out. But there are a lot of things like with Christianity that people bring out, and because they don't understand or haven't studied or whatever,
well, they basically simplify it in a word.
Either they simplify it or adulterate it altogether.
And they say this word means that, and you say, okay, one day. I mean, basically, it's like elementary.
Do you think from 6,001 to 7,000, God just rested?
Yeah.
He didn't do nothing. He just allowed whatever.
Didn't do nothing for 1,000 years.
Yeah. See, just whatever happened, happened.
Exactly. Because a lot of people be like, "Oh, the Sabbath." Moses brought the Sabbath and the law. We don't have to. Man, Sabbath was way before Moses. Matter of fact, let's look at it.
Hold on. Stay on track.
Okay, because it say on the seventh day, he said all God's creation was finished in 6 days. On the seventh day, he rested, he blessed it, and he sanctified the seventh day.
Yeah.
That 1,000 years, he rested, and he tell us in Hebrews 4, tell us we're going to enter into his rest. He said once you enter into his rest, you cease from your own works.
So let me ask you this then. So Adam and Eve, the whole casting at creation, subsequent betrayal and casting out of Adam and Eve. So people want to apply time to that, right?
Yeah. Right. You can. From Adam, you can count. So Adam, probably 6,000 some years.
I don't think you count it. I don't think you count it.
You don't know though.
Because it says as 1,000 years, don't mean that it was actually 1,000. It might have been a million years.
Exactly.
Because when Jesus says, forgive your brother 70 times 7, it wasn't a literal number. It was just a number saying that is a lot.
But basically, by the time you get to forgiving somebody that many times, you're going to lose count.
That means it's time. Basically what it means is grace.
Right. Hey, we know how old Adam was when he died, but we don't know how long Adam and Eve was in the garden.
We don't.
Or what age they were when they got kicked out.
We don't. Right.
And their age would have been relative because they were created as...
Time was different because they was
were they created as adult?
Yeah, they were created
right? They were created as adult people.
They don't two humans in the era that we live in now that wasn't born.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So they were created as adult people.
Right.
So their ages would have been relatively kind of off. Like I'm a brand new born, but I'm a grown man.
Right.
Kind of thing.
So
in our chronological thinking, right?
They was born, they might have looked like they was 30 years old when they was born.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean, when they were created, they were already grown.
They was in the garden though. They didn't age though.
That's what I'm saying. Time didn't exist until they fell. For the time, the time frame was different until they fell.
They didn't even know they was naked.
Right.
So basically,
until their encounter with Satan,
time was totally different.
They was going to live forever until they bit into the fruit. Is when they was the body started breaking down.
Yeah, when sin sets in, that's when deterioration sets in. It's like
interesting.
That's true. That's true.
It's
if
broken
you look that
down.
up in the Hebrew, yeah, you're right.
It breaks down.
Man,
it breaks down.
You show
your
right.
body.
You show right.
So when they went into sin, that was a whole different type of time. It was a different
Yeah, I don't think time existed.
The devil knew that. He knew
it had to, because they mentioned about the sun. The time being relative to the sun.
Remember day 4?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it was irrelevant because the time frame for them was different.
He gonna show you part of, which is interesting. I was watching this movie called Bedazzled the other night. It's about, I don't know if you ever seen it.
I seen it. Okay, with the devil.
So it's the devil. She's giving this guy 7 wishes in exchange for his soul, right? And he wanted this woman, and either way, he would tell the devil what he wanted, and the devil said, "Yeah, I give it to you. Okay, so this is your wish. Go ahead." Every time it was something in there. It was a detail that the devil left out. Yeah. It was something that the devil left out that made it not what he wanted.
That's how the devil.
And so,
is this an old movie?
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser. That movie was interesting though, because it told a universal truth about, and which is rare in Hollywood with like a mainstream movie. It told a universal truth about how you can be seduced by the desires of your heart by an evil force, and how that eventually, and how that always ends up for you every time. He didn't get out of his fix until he met a male or somebody in jail that basically was God coming to see him and advising him how to get out of it.
Right.
See, he didn't get out of it until he was like, I got to stop messing with that devil, because she gonna tell me I can have what I want. Devil gonna tell you I can have what you want. I give it to you. Oh, Jesus did the same thing to Jesus.
You said she, you the devil, she.
In this one, it was represented by she.
But you know what? There are a lot of cultures that say the devil is a woman, and if you notice in the occult, the Baphomet,
it's both.
They got breasts.
He got both. Yeah, it's a hermaphrodite.
That's why everybody.
But
confused.
I think
what you say?
That's why everybody confused. Oh, not everybody, but
I think that the overriding theme of that is that the devil can be whoever the devil needs to be in order to deceive you.
That's possible.
Man, woman, child.
Yeah.
Whoever the devil needs to be in that moment to get you to go down the road where you can separate yourself or get in the way of God's will.
And to be honest with you, it's a moment of selfishness.
Okay.
Because within that split second, you thinking of self.
Okay, let's kind of get back.
It could be 1 second.
So far, we done got to verse 6. Verse 6 in Genesis 1. All right, so it said, and God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day.
So hold up. I still can't get past that. So there's a heaven under the water?
Yeah. We ain't been that far up, and we send rockets up. We don't get to the water. We can't go that far up yet.
So you telling me, okay.
The Bible's telling me.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's what God is telling us.
You say you tell me. I'm saying the Bible.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Heaven includes the stars and everything. Because when you get down here to day 4, it say, God said, let there be lights in the firmament, so of heaven, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, for seasons, for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament, to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made 2 great lights. All of these lights, the stars, the moon, all of that's in heaven. All of that's in the firmament. And the rule over the day, and the lesser light, the rule over the night, and the stars. And God said, set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And we remember when Noah's flood happened, it said God turned on the fountains of the deep. So water came from the bottom and water came from the top. We a few chapters away from Noah, so we ain't gonna jump ahead to that. But let me just read here, because I took down some about the water. Okay, the Hebrew word for water in Genesis 1 can also mean semen. He separated the waters from the waters when the universe was birthed. The Bible says that Jesus came of the water and blood. That's 1 John 5:6. Water represents spirit. When Jesus' side was pierced, water and blood came out. That's John 19:34. God's seed mingled with man. Okay, and that's how Jesus was created. Now the Bible speaks about the Satan, Antichrist, is going to be Satan incarnate. It's going to be, and it's Satan will try to duplicate according to Daniel, and they shall mingle their seed with the seed of men. That's Daniel 2, chapter 43. And the Antichrist will have eyes like a man. That's Daniel 7, 8. And will be Satan in the flesh, the son of Satan, to rule on earth in the physical. That's Isaiah 14, verses 4 through 12. So, Satan is we're going to get there. We ain't there yet. But Satan tries to duplicate. Okay.
Whatever God does,
exactly.
Satan tries to copy.
And Satan knows the plan of God because Satan can read the skies. We're going to get to the Maseroth. It's probably going to be later, but right here in verse 14 of Genesis chapter 1, it tells us what the lights up there are for. It say, and let them be for signs and for seasons, for days and for years. We know the wise man found Jesus by following his star. I mean,
but what we know, okay, so I get we're down to 14, right? But we never did clarify
what the light was in chapter 1.
What the light was in in verse was it?
Okay.
No, verse 2.
Now this is what we kind of discussed last time.
That was separated from that darkness.
Okay. What we discussed last time, there are historical documents, different cultures from around the world, different time periods, thousands of years, thousands of miles. They talk about how these beings had a war. And even the Bible would talk about this war in heaven. That's in Revelation. But it's just talking about the one that's going to come. It's not telling us about the war. Like the Bible says, nothing new under the sun. This stuff is going to keep happening. That's why he say world without end. It say that at least, I found it at least 5 times in the Bible, Old Testament and New. Every time it's destroyed, it's going to be recreated. It's never going to end. It's always going to be a new heaven and a new earth. He's going to keep recreating it. So basically it was a war, and everything got destroyed, and wickedness, darkness was up on the face, and he made light and said the light is good. He separated the light from the darkness. The light, to me, now the Bible say that the angels are stars. Yeah, you can find that in certain places. God say, I am light. He said, I'm the light of man. When you get to Revelation and a few other prophecies talking about the sun and the moon going to go away. He said, you don't need it. He said, I'm going to give light to the earth. God is actually going to light up the light. We're not going to have no lights in the firmament. The Bible talk about how in the end, it's going to be a violent earthquake. And it's going to shake the stars out of heaven. Peter talk about how the earth is going to be rolled up like a scroll, burn on fire, which is also in the book of Enoch, which we ain't going to get there today. But the light he was creating, and on the first day, he was creating more angels and stuff like that to fight against the darkness. This war is never going to end. Light against the darkness. It's going to always be. Matter of fact, when they gave Jesus a parable, they tried to trip him up. They was like, okay, it was a woman. She married a man, and her husband died. She didn't have no kids. Then the next brother, and they went through all 7 brothers, and none of them could give her a kid. And she said, so in heaven, say, whose wife she gonna be? And Jesus said, man, y'all error, y'all don't know the scripture. He said, because in heaven, they are like the angels in heaven. They're neither given in marriage, they don't marry in heaven. He said, they are like the angels in heaven. That's what we're gonna do when we get our glorified bodies. We're gonna be like the angels in heaven. We got angels right now that's chained in darkness. The Bible says he charges angels with folly. Because the fallen angels, they messed up. We talked about this the last time, the book of Enoch, how the angels, and it's in Jude, it's in 2 Peter, where 200
angels are chained up as we speak right now.
It don't give the number in 2 Peter. They get a number in the book of Enoch. But these
but they're chained up. Though.
Yeah, they chained up, and they reserved to the dead darkness. And they went to Enoch, the first prophet. He never died. His body went straight to heaven. That's in Genesis, and it's in the book of Enoch. But they went to him, and they messed up because they decided to leave heaven. They saw the women was down there. It's in Genesis chapter 6, also in Enoch chapter 6. They wanted to come to the earth because they saw the Bible. Matter of fact, the Bible said the angels are our brothers.